I figured that it might be really nice to give a bit of um, organic speech, and it's quite difficult to just sit there on your own and talk about random stuff without any external stimulant. So what I decided I would do is I would play a little bit of Tetris, and hopefully that's gonna give me just enough edge uh, to make it so that I can actually talk about random stuff without it being really uncomfortable for me, because talking just alone is not really all that easy to do necessarily. So I can probably briefly mention the game of Tetris as it's going on, and I'm hoping that this Tetris gameplay will help me concentrate on my English, hopefully. And I'm not reading anything off of any script, obviously, so it's gonna be pretty much as organic as it gets. So what I would especially like you guys to focus on is like on top of the pronunciation, I would like to know if my intonation and the flow and everything is just like, does it sound good? I'm not really sure how to exactly describe it, but I think there is a certain way to like stress words in a sentence, and I'm not really sure if I have a natural way of speaking, and some of it might be like like the same across languages. So a good speaker might be able to give a good speech in several languages, but I would assume that there is also a lot of stuff that isn't so transparent across languages, and there are probably a lot of things and ways of saying things that are specific to English. So I would like you to focus on that in particular. I know I'm not like a really good talker or speaker or whatever. Like I don't do that stuff very well in any language, but really you should just focus on the English. And I guess another purpose of this Tetris footage is that it's entertainment for some of you. So basically listening to some guy talk for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. It isn't really a lot of fun, most likely, but now that there's the Tetris gameplay, you might actually feel like sitting through it. So right now I'm doing pretty well. I've been playing Tetris for a little while now. I'm not like super good, and I'm also not focusing extremely hard on the game because I'm trying to talk, and that is taking away quite a lot of my mental capabilities, but I'm still trying my best, trying to do as well as I can in this game over here. It's not that important. Didn't get a Tetris there, but it's fine. I don't think I planned out my building very well. Like, I'm left with this. I think I'll just patch it up like that. All right, we'll see how this goes. So I think I'll keep playing until I lose, unless I last for an incredibly long period of time for some reason. I don't think that's gonna happen though, because I'm not like a Tetris god or anything. Definitely not. Sometimes I like to think that I'm like above average at Tetris, but that's also probably not necessarily true. So yeah, and I'm also quite rusty. I haven't played Tetris in quite some time. There was this really nice Tetris website that I really enjoyed. I think it was Tetris Friends. You could even play online Tetris with your friends, but unfortunately that website shut down. I think they just weren't making enough money off of it, so they don't have that up anymore, and you can't play Tetris on there. It's a real shame. I really like that website. But now it's gone, and well, oh well. Stuff like that just happens. Websites run out of money, and because when people don't use them, I think there was a period where or it might have just been me being interested in Tetris content and being recommended Tetris stuff. But I feel like at some point people were actually kind of interested in Tetris. It might have been because the Odd Ones Out, who's a YouTuber, he made a video about Tetris one time. So he basically showed him totally just kicking ass at Tetris, and I would assume that a lot of people got interested in Tetris as a result of that video. And I have to admit that I was one of those people. I think that is when I started like just playing Tetris on my free time, like every once in a while, just for fun. And yeah, it is a fun game. So James from The Odd Ones Out basically introduced me to this game. I mean, I did know that Tetris was a thing even before that video. Obviously, I mean, everyone knows Tetris, but I didn't really think that. I basically didn't think much of it. Like I didn't think it was actually some game that would be worth playing. But I have to admit that it is a pretty addicting game. And I feel like I might have messed up by doing this. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out for me, but we're going to see. And as you can see, the pieces are starting to fall quite a bit faster right now. So this is basically means trouble for me. I'm not sure how long I'm going to last in here. And I've been talking in here for I've been talking for a while, so, you know, this video is getting pretty long. I'm not sure if anyone's actually going to watch through all of it, and it's fine if you guys don't, but, you know, it would be nice to know stuff about my accent. Hopefully you guys, even if you don't want to listen through all of this and watch me play Tetris, like, you know, it is probably quite boring, then you can just stop the video here and tell me what you think so far. You don't have to sit through the whole thing. It's probably not going to take long though. Like, it looks like I'm quite screwed right now, so I'm basically going to lose any minute now. By the looks of things, I really did mess up quite badly. Although one thing that I keep getting amazed at is how badly you can mess up in Tetris and still miraculously make it out alive. Like, look at this. I'm actually not doing too bad right now. I'm totally alive and going strong. Not really, probably not in an ideal situation in this game, but you know, I do have a relatively flat board, and things are overall just pretty okay. I'm happy with this setup that I have going on. So basically, if you don't know what Tetris is, well, I'm sure you got the general idea by now. Basically, at least, or like basically in every version of Tetris, you get points when you clear lines, and you get more points when you clear 4 lines at a time. And the only way you can really do that is with one of those 4 long straight pieces. Like, let me show you this one. Like right there, I cleared 4 lines, and that's the only way to do it. And that's called a Tetris, and you get quite a lot of points for it. As you can see right now, I have exactly 100,000 points. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's a lot or not. It's probably, I don't think it's that many points. Like, I've certainly gotten way more than that before when I'm like actually trying. But it's not bad. It's not awful, considering I'm recording and not really fully focusing on the game right now. Yeah, actually, this might take a while. So I'm not sure if I should just cut the video short, because no one's gonna want to watch this. But yeah, just playing Tetris, you know, chilling. Yeah, whoop whoop. The pieces are falling down. Everyone's having a good time. All right. So that fits pretty nicely in there. One thing I think a lot of people like about Tetris is how satisfying the gameplay is. Like, there's honestly probably nothing better in this world than to drop one of those straight pieces right at the perfect time and make a Tetris. It feels really satisfying. And yeah, as you can see, I really did mess up there, but it's okay. So there's damn. So there's also this thing called a T-spin, where you take one of these pieces and rotate it in a weird way and clear, I think it was 3 lines or 2, I'm not sure. You might even be able to do both. And you get a lot of points for it. And it's like a more, it's basically like a more space efficient or tile efficient Tetris, I think. So like all the Tetris pros do it, and that's how they win like competitive Tetris games. But I don't really know how to do it. It's really hard. I've never done it. You got to do this like this very specific setup if you want to make it work, and it's quite hard to pull off. I mean, I've never really like seriously tried to even do it, but I just know that it's hard, and I don't really want to do it. But it's like a thing if you're really hardcore about this game. I know some friends who actually do play this game quite frequently as well. A lot of them are way better at this than me, and yeah, it's really fascinating to watch someone who's like actually really good play Tetris, because they just know where the pieces are supposed to go, you know. Like I'm putting these pretty much randomly, but the pros, you know, it's an entirely different story for the pros. They they just know, you know. It's like they've memorized this whole game, but like I don't know, they just react like instantly, and they know where it goes. And I mean, pros do make mistakes as well, of course. Everyone makes mistakes, but there is a very deep skill cap to this game in the sense that you can get really good if you practice. And I think those types of games where they're like easy to learn but hard to master, they're quite fun, because you can basically always just keep improving. And it does look like I will be losing this game in a moment, which is probably good, because I don't think anyone is still listening to this, my boring monotone voice. And can I get one more line perhaps? I did get one more line. That's quite incredible, honestly. I did get one more as well. And there we go. So I'm just desperately trying to get like some more points, but I couldn't. So that's it. That was my Tetris little monologue video sort of thing. I hope you guys will give me helpful advice on how to improve. And yeah, so that was it.